All right, homies. This is the last one. I'm about to knock it all out right here. I was going to do separate videos, buy, sell, hold, drop. But making all these videos, man, is just taking up too much time. So from now on, I think I'm just going to drop it all in one big-ass video. Maybe two videos at the most. Just to try to keep the work level down so I can spend my time researching. All right, so let's get her started. Buy, sells, holds, trades. All right, the first holds. OJ Howard and Mike Evans. You just gotta chill, man. I mean, I get it. I got OJ Howard in one league. I didn't even really want him. If you saw my videos pre-draft, and you know I wasn't on him, but I was on Mike Evans, and I still like Mike Evans. I mean, he's lost a little value, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't be dropping OJ Howard right now. You know, there's a learning curve with a new offense, a new head coach. Got an inexperienced quarterback who's struggling a little bit with the new system. Like, give him a little time. You can't trade low. If someone starts hitting you up for Mike Evans, you might as well just say no, because you're going to be trading it when it's low. When you draft a player and he doesn't produce, you're kind of screwed. You know, you got to wait around till he comes back. And once he comes back, then you can get out of him. But for the most part, you got to hold on to these high-value players because you spent a lot on them, and there's not a whole lot of other options that are better than them anyway. All right, so those players that you're holding got a lot of drops this week. So sell highs. Let's get down to these sell highs. You got David Johnson, and they're just not using him that much. They're not running the ball, and just like we thought in the beginning of the season, they have a bad O-line. And they're throwing the ball sometimes 4 wide receivers out there. So they take David Johnson off the field. And, yeah, you know, if you can get someone else who you think would go in the first round today, first round type of talent for David Johnson, you should take it. Because once a couple more weeks goes by and he doesn't produce a touchdown, it's going to be a wrap. Now, AB has the potential to be the #1 wide receiver in the league with Tom Brady throwing to him. So the potential is there, and I'm not discounting that. But considering everything, I suspect that something's going to happen legal-wise. And, you know, after the NFL does a little investigation, I think they will put him on the list. They're going to put him on the exempt list, and you're going to get nothing out of AB. So for me, even though the potential is there, I would get something solid out of AB from someone who likes him. But don't act desperate, you know what I mean? But don't play it off like you want someone who's a first-round talent either. There's a little baked-in risk there, so you got to get someone good. And John Ross, we all know AJ Green is likely coming back. Now, I'm not optimistic for AJ Green. I wouldn't want to be buying AJ Green, but I'm not buying this John Ross. And I am buying the Bengals offense, but you know, I don't like guys that boom or bust a whole lot, so he's not the type of player I would really want. But if he booms every week, of course, then he's an ultimate star, but that's not going to happen. And, you know, I'm not saying you got to sell this guy, but it would be good if someone wanted to take him where you could bundle him up with another player and get someone good. I would absolutely do that, you know. Maybe you could take David Johnson and John Ross and get Le'Veon Bell, you know, or something like that. And then Derrick Henry, I'm still not buying Derrick Henry. They're giving him the rock, and they have a good defense, and they want to run, and so that might seem good, but I'm just not buying. He doesn't catch the ball. I think he's had some lucky breaks, and if it was me, I would be looking to get out of him, but I wouldn't be trying to sell quickly. You know, this isn't a fire sale. I'm just trying to get someone, you know, second-round value if I could, to find a team that's got studs at wide receivers and try to pull one of those wide receivers off of them. Mark Ingram, the reason that we're going to be selling him is because he's just not getting a whole lot of work. You know, he's definitely the lead back there, but they're also featuring, they're sprinkling in some other running backs. And, you know, you could probably get something for him. So this is his last week, probably, of real high production considering the opponents that he's facing. And I think this is the time to get something out of him. But he's a good piece, so you're not selling these things for cheap. Now, Breida. Breida's injury, very high injury risk, and I wouldn't want anything to do with him because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if he was on my team. Just wondering if he's going to, you know, trip and fall or hurt himself. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. And almost the same with Ekeler, except it's even worse. With Ekeler, even if he stays perfectly healthy, we know Melvin Gordon is coming back. And you can't just use Ekeler all the way up to to the time when Gordon's going to come back and then flip them. Like, people aren't that dumb. You have to give them some value, leave a little meat on that bone. And you know, while there's still meat on the bone, while it's still a desirable bone, you got to trade it because it's every week it's going down in value. So those are players I'm looking to sell, but I'm not looking to dump them. I'm just looking to get out of them, you know, like for value. All right, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, like with Breida, you got Jeff Wilson there hitting the red zone, and then you got Raheem Mostert. You got Coleman returning. I mean, it doesn't look like Melvin Ingram's really a workhorse. And, you know, John Ross, I mean, he had like that one long touchdown that saved his day, but without that, like, what would he have really done? And then we all know what AJ Green is coming back. You know what I'm saying? And the news on AB is definitely coming. You know, there's news coming, so you just don't know what it is. And if I can get something good out of it, I'm going to get something good out of it. I mean, we already know that Edelman and Gore and Dorsett, you know, those are going to be nice valued players. And they're going up against Miami, then the Jets, then the Bills, then the Redskins, then the Giants, and then the Jets again. So, you know, I don't know if you really want to keep AB when this news comes, but if I was you, I'd be going after Gordon right now. But that's just me. I like Gordon, and so that's pretty much it. You know, you could pick up Justin Jackson, you know, because Austin Ekeler is a huge injury risk. So there's about 8 weeks until Melvin Gordon's likely to come back. So Justin Jackson could help you in the meantime, but he's a diminishing asset too, same as Ekeler. And, you know, I'd probably look to get out of Thielen if I could. You know, I didn't put him on here, but in second thought, you know, they're not really throwing offense right now. They're kind of a running offense, and I just don't know how many passes there are to go around. And, you know, that's pretty much it. I'd be looking to sell Latavius Murray. I probably should have put him on here too, because now the Drew Brees is done. That offense, the upside's just not going to be there as much, and so someone else might be valuing him very highly. And so, like I said, I'm not trying to fire sale, but if he's available, someone's interested in him, I'll probably try to bundle him up with another player, and, you know, get the better player out of the trade, but give away 2 for 1. So that's what these players are good for. They have value, but they're not enough by themselves, and it's okay to pay more overall, because you're getting all of your value packed into one player, and they're getting it spread out among 2 players. And that's a significant difference, because then you have a bench spot open up, and you can go pick another you know, player off the waiver wire or free agent list and let them sit there and another handcuff, you know, another lottery ticket. So, all right, let's move on to the buy lows. All right, let's get to the buy lows first. Let's get to these drops real quick here. All right, there we go. Now, first off, Trubisky, he's got to be dropped. I was wrong on him, so I'll have to be the one to take the blame on that one, because I had him I thought he would get better, you know, from last year, but he didn't. So we're just reminded of the lows that he had, and so the highs, even when they come, they're not going to be worth the lows. You can't have lows like what he's getting right now, so that would kill you. So you got to drop Trubisky, drop Cousins, Roethlisberger, obviously. I mean, I already had made this list before he was hurt, before the news came out. Brees, obviously, now, but I made this before the news came out. And Jared Cook, you can drop, especially now that Brees is done. Moncrief, you can drop. Pettis, you can drop. Cam Newton, you can drop. Darius GuiCe, not Guide, you can drop. Rex Burkhead. Peyton Barber, not our Barber. Ronald Jones, Jordan Howard, Corey Davis, Dede Westbrook, Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, Keke Coutee, and Jamison Crowder. All you can drop, man. Free up those waiver spots, because we got some studs that we got to get to. All right, the buy lows. Marlon Mack makes it on here for the 2nd week in a row. George Kittle, same thing. Fournette, not sure if I put him on the last one or not. Mixon and Jones. Marlon Mack's going to get the work. They're not going to turn Jacoby Brissett into a pocket quarterback. they're managing the situation. Okay, he's a game manager right now, and they're going to lean heavy on the run. So you can count on Marlon Mack for the season long. He's not going to be an RB1 for you, but he'll always probably be in your RB2 category, depending on who else you have. So he's worth trading someone for. George Kittle, it depends. Don't give up too much for him because someone else is trying to get out of him potentially, and you're trying to get him on a discount. The idea of it's not to get a deal; it's to get a good deal. So keep that in mind, but not try to steal. A good deal, but not a steal. And sometimes it's win-win and helps both teams, and that's the ideal what you're looking for. And then you got Leonard Fournette, who he's getting the work, and that's all you really want to know. He hasn't got the touchdowns yet, but that's why he's on the buy low category. Because if he got the touchdowns, he wouldn't be a buy low. He'd probably be a sell high. But the idea is we're accumulating talent, and we're selling on their up, and we're buying on the lows, and that's how we accumulate, football wealth, if you will. And then by the end of the year, we're loaded with talent when we do it like that. So next, you got Joe Mixon, and he's been producing pretty poorly. So you don't want to pay Joe Mixon prices. You want to pay like a 4th, 5th round pick or type of player. So, to me, I wouldn't really want him, but he's worth a pickup. He's going to be on a hot, prolific offense, but I don't know. It just depends, man. I probably shouldn't have put Joe Mixon on this list. I don't even know why I did, because I'm already feeling like I probably shouldn't go get him. The reason is because he already got hurt once. You know what I mean? But Aaron Jones, it's really all about the value. He probably made it on the list because he's been underperforming, and if you can get something for him, if you can get an owner panicking, or more importantly, if you could combine a couple of players that you really tired of having, but they have value, and pull Joe Mixon, you also free up space on your bench, and you get yourself Joe Mixon, who has a lot of upside. It doesn't mean he's like the best buy in the world. It just means if you can get him on a deal, And the same thing with Aaron Jones. He's not ideal, but if you can get him for a deal, that would be good. Because he's underproducing right now, but he's still on that good offense, and he's going to get the touchdowns. It's going to come for him. So, And I also told you last time, I think you should pick up Jamal Williams, because if something happens to Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams is going to be a beast. All right. So check this out, my homies. This is the situation. Mark Andrews, number 1, mainly because tight end is a wasteland, and he's a top 5 guy, if you saw my tight end video. John Brown, I've been tooting the horn. Samuels, I explained that. Miko Hardman and Devontae Robinson, they got a possibility of being your 3rd wide receiver for the year. So we're thinking season long here. Terry McLaurin, he could definitely pull that same gig off. Gregg Olsen is a top tight end. So if you can get him and drop a different tight end, like, I don't know, you might have O.J. Howard. I would rather have Gregg Olsen than O.J. Howard. Gregg Olsen is a nice piece for the rest of the year. So James Washington, Darwin Thompson. See what else in here really needs to be explained. I mean, these are the orders that I would pick them up in. And then Green Bay looks like they got a nice defense. Tennessee has a good defense, and they're facing Jacksonville, who's coming apart of the seams right now. And San Francisco versus Pittsburgh, the defense for Pittsburgh, and you got Mason Rudolph in there. My first pick would be Green Bay. All right, Holmes, that's it. It only took me a couple of hours, but still longer than I wanted to spend making videos. But, hey, you guys are worth it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for subscribing. See you on the next one. I don't know when that's going to be, because it depends on what kind of news comes out. But hang in there, homies. May the points be with you.